Hello all. It is the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh. And it's time for a review of Kid Cudi-Entergalactic. Kid Cudi is a rapper, a singer, a songwriter, and in this case, creator of a show called Entergalactic, which is the soundtrack to the show that he's in. And it's time for a review for it. Yeah. So let's talk about Cudi's discography, because he has quite the discography. And an interesting one. It could range from great to okay to terrible. Now, I would say his debut is great, but along those lines, things got a little mid. And then he released Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which I thought was absolute trash, and definitely novelty at this point. However, he did come through and amaze me with his collab with Kanye. Yes, Kanye. He makes great music. Say what you will about him as a person, I'll agree with you on that. But he makes great music. And it came through with Kid See Ghost, which is this amazing collaboration, a psychedelic experience, mind-blowing experience. If you have not checked it out, please do. It's a great, great album. Now back to the review. And vocally, I felt like he was in his bag all the way through. And with the singing, which is very, very hit or miss for me, because I feel sometimes Cudi could come through with some nice hums, nice melody, something I'd like to sing along to, and something that doesn't make me feel like I'm going absolutely bored out of my mind or annoyed out of my mind. Because he can get grating when it comes to his hums and his melodies. But his rapping, though, I don't think his rapping misses. No, I don't. I think when he's rapping, he sounds like very charismatic, very confident, very much in his bag, with this smoky demeanor to his vocals. And he sounds great. Sounds great on it. Now, this album's not that long. It's only almost like 46 minutes. And the album kicks off with this analog bass, tender harmonies, nice hums, something you would expect for a Kid Cudi album, and a strong intro. I mean, not a very strong intro. Excuse me. And we get not too many guest spots. We get a collab with Ty Dolla $ign, 2 Chainz, Don Toliver, and Dot the Genius and Steve Aoki. If you want to count bonus tracks. Now, I feel like there is a narrative here, but it's like very not that strong. Because 1 minute he's talking about how confident he is, he's talking about how his life is progressing, and then he's basically emoting these romantic yearnings and just pouring out his feels. So it does kind of come off very inconsistent, I will say that. And like I said, I feel like, with the exception of Willing to Trust, which I feel has its highs and not too many lows, really. I feel like when I first heard it, it was kind of a snoozer, but I feel it works in the context of the album. Like, the psychedelic reverb guitars sound great, great structure, Ty's ascending melodies on the hook sound very heavenly. Cudi's vocals sound very soothing and intimate. Not soothing and intimate to a point where they want to put me to sleep, but soothing enough to touch my soul and put me in my feels. Ah. Now, for the tracks where Cudi does not cut it vocally, with the track In Love, which is the polar opposite feeling of my thoughts on the track. On this one, Cudi just sounds off. Like, the vocals are so off. And trust me, I'm not saying you have to be, I'm not saying you have to be an amazing vocalist to win me over. I'm not. My favorites of all time are Lou Reed, Bob Dylan, Jim Morrison, Tyler, the Creator, with his Igor album. But there was a style to that. There was something that kept me engaged in it. There was like a sound to it that drew me in. This sound, this whiny, nasally vocal, makes me want to run away and not come back to this. And but aside from that, there are highlights on here. I do like the track he did with 2 Chainz. I feel like 2 Chainz sounds very momentous on here, very much full of life and charisma, along with Cudi, who sounds very charismatic over these Dirty South style beats, and it sounds great. It's definitely a banger on here. And Cudi does come through with like hooks on here that are catchy, that stick with me. Like on the track Do What I Want, where he's just going off here completely. I feel like we need more of this Cudi, where he just sounds energized, sounds on top of his game, he sounds in his bag, and he is just continuously kicking ass. And Living My Truth is just great to me. Like, super rich, lavish, soulful cut. Beautiful, classy string samples, nice psychedelic guitar loops on the back end. I love the contrast of like Cudi's rapping vocals to his deep melodic fills, his vocal fills. And he's letting everyone know like he's feeling strong, he's feeling empowered, and you can feel that on here. And he's just showing his progression. And the little vocal samples are a nice touch too. Because in the beginning, like, I thought they were like instrumentation, but the melodies are just sampled melodies, and they sound great. Now, I would say, like I said, when it comes to the moments where I should feel, I don't feel. Because I feel like he's emoting love, he's emoting like his deep feelings. But when he does that, there's not really much in terms of the production that makes me want to continuously go back to it. There's really no textures there. It's just a snoozer. It's boring. To me, at least. And yeah, overall, I don't hate this album. I don't. They'll probably hate me for not liking it, but I just think it's okay. I feel Cudi could have done way more in terms of taking risks on here, but it's pretty much your by-the-numbers Cudi album, unfortunately. And I do appreciate the bangers on here, I do. And it's not a terrible album either. But is it making my best of the year list? No. Is it making my honorable mentions list? No. I just find myself very much in the middle here. I'm feeling a 3 out of 5 black hearts on this, but that's just my opinion. What do you think of it? Do you love this album? Do you hate this album? Why? Let me know in the comments. Caspa, the Gothic Ghost, Kid Cudi, Intergalactic. Till we meet again.